Thank you for joining this session. Take out a piece of paper and pen, get your keyboard ready, get your phone out, whatever way you take notes. Today is going to be about why starting your day off with confidence is very important. As you know, if you checked out my bio or my intro video about myself, I am a storyteller, but starting your day off with confidence is very important, right? And you see here as it kind of draws out different pictures of people being confident. Most people don't start their day out that way. We start out in different ways, right? So we really got to figure out what mood we're in or where we're at the beginning of the day and really analyze that to figure out how can we get out of that and have a productive day. So if you did listen to my bio, you know I'm a storyteller. So I'm gonna throw in a quick story real quick. So I do invest in real estate and on the side, and I get tons of calls of people calling me, wholesalers or investment companies, and they're always reading from call scripts. Now, call script is not a bad thing, and it's a tool that you could use. And by listening to these individuals, I can always tell who's very nervous, who's overconfident, who's underconfident, who's new to the job, who's been at it a long time. So get into this. I'm gonna jump into the first persona, but before I go there, I'm gonna ask a question out to the group. If right now you're starting a new job and it's you have a bunch of call scripts and you don't know how to really handle it, go ahead and put something in the chat and let me know, and maybe I can make a series on how can you make call script your own and actually weave that into your talk track or your sales pitch, elevator pitch, whatever term you want to use. But with that being said, let's jump into the first one. As this mindset builds out, you can kind of maybe guess what it is. And it's the mindset that I am, I'm from the South, I'm a Southerner, and I'm always kind of relaxed, right? And you might think, why being relaxed might not be a good thing. Sometimes when you're having a call or you're in front of a customer and you seem too relaxed, they might think you don't care. It's like this person doesn't care about my needs, about what I'm trying to get from them, especially in technology. 'Cause a lot of times what they're looking for basically is what we call a resume generating opportunity, right? They get it wrong, their resume is hitting the street and they're getting fired. So even though you start your day like that, super relaxed is great. I do all the time. It's a great way to knock out stuff, knock out emails, so you're level headed and get a lot of the administration work of your day done and to get into that kind of Zen mindset. But you also have to be aware once you're in front of somebody, you're calling out to customers or customers are calling you, you have to see where they're at and what the issue is. If they're just calling to check up on something and they're relaxed, keep that same tone. But they're calling up and they're having an issue, then you have to raise your attitude or your mentality to match theirs, but still being confident and kind of bring them down if their hair is on fire. And this reminds me of a story one time. So I was in New York. I flew out there. I think I was coming from Philadelphia or something like that. And I was sitting down in this conference room across from Madison Square Garden, right? First time, being in New York, and it was great energy. And I was talking to my fellow employees. We're having a good time. And then the first client came in. I was a specialist or a pre-sales engineer, and this guy came in. Everybody was suited and booted. I was suited and booted, and he came in, and he was just trying to dog me the whole time. I caught myself. I was like, man, I'm just too relaxed. And this guy thought he could just push me over. Now, the way I handle it, I might not recommend for anybody else to handle it. Now, I had been in field sales for a long time. And I basically told him, say, look, y'all asked me to fly out here and to help your company with a serious need that you have. But if you're not gonna have a conversation and it's not gonna go the right way, then guess what? I could just leave, hop on a flight, and get elsewhere. Now, of course, I can't say what he said, but it was basically he said he was busting my chops and he was playing around. But I could see in the look of I call his minions that he wasn't. That's was his personal attitude. But since I did have some experience, I did maybe go a little too far and say, "Look, I'm gonna leave. You're wasting my time. It's no need for me to be here." But I did have the backstory. He did make some bad decisions and other purchases, so this was a resume generating situation for him. But I do take fault because I knew where I was at. I knew what region I was at. I know how a lot of people within that region they're more aggressive. It's a fast-paced city, right? They're like boom, 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 boom. And I was too relaxed to start the conversation. And it put us both off on the bad foot. But the moral to the story is you could be too relaxed in a situation and it could get out of hand. But at the end of the day, me and his tech guys, we started whiteboarding and we built out a good solution to get them out of the rut that they're in, and everything ended up well. We ended up having beers and food afterwards, but that's was just a quick story of when you have a too relaxed mindset, you can kind of set yourself up for failure. And the same thing on a phone call. Someone calling in and they're about to get fired or their environment's down and you're talking like I'm talking right now, it's not a good thing. Master energy and be precise, calm them down, but make sure they're getting taken care of. And let's jump on to the next one. Now, this next mindset, I think we all deal with it in some level or not. I know I deal with it, and it's natural, right? And you can see the pictures, how these people look worried and look nervous. Now, this mindset, you really got to figure out why are you nervous and why are you in that situation. It could be easy as you're new, right? It's your first call, or it could be as simple as you're not confident in what you're selling. And being confident in what you're selling and kind of knowing your products, and let's talk about IT or financial products. If you don't know the ins and outs of what you're doing, it will come across on the call. And a lot of times, the way we kind of handle that is the nerves kind of kick in. Like myself, when I first did my first door to door meeting when I was in finance, I was doing insurance and some other stuff like that. So I was going door to door, and the first person, boy, I was shaking like a leaf. Right, you're cold knocking on somebody's door, and you're trying to sell them a product, and you don't know them from Adam. So the first few times didn't end up well. Doors slamming in my face and stuff like that. But over those experiences, I built confidence. And every night I studied more and more. And I talked to veterans and I got different talk tracks from them. And then I kind of figured out what was my own. And once I kind of figured that out, the nervousness went away. And sometimes nervousness does come from you're super prepared, you're ready for it. Like when I present in front of crowds, I'm always nervous, regardless if I kill the presentation and the people at the end of it is like, great job and all that. My first 15 to 10 seconds, my voice always cracks. I have those jitters, but once the lights are on and I start to speak, I kind of snap out of it, right? That is my mindset. I know when I'm in front of larger crowds, a bunch of people, I'm going to be nervous. But I know once I get into it, I'll snap out of it. And I hate when they record it because I always hear my voice crack. Right? It's one of those things when they record you and customers or partners get to see what you're talking about. Sometimes you're your own biggest critic. Even recording this, I was like, should I do this or should I not do this? Because sometimes you don't like hearing your own voice. But you have to really understand why you're nervous. Is you're underprepared? Are you overprepared? Or you just don't understand the technology or the products that you're selling? Now, if you're nervous because you don't believe in a product, it's best to create a resume and find something you could get behind because customers and people that you deal with can always tell if you're just trying to sell them something and you don't believe in the product. That's one thing you really have to understand. Myself, I got stuff all across my room in my house. Is I was trying these products out. That's me. Not everybody's like that, but I really want to know his work because when I'm sitting there and I'm talking to somebody in person or over the phone and I'm getting them a solution or a product out to them, or am I doing something for them and their family, I want to make sure that the product works and that they're happy with it, right? Because my name and my brand, my family stuff is very important to me. And if that's the reason you're nervous of selling the product, the best advice I can give you is move on to another company, learn as much as you can, but get behind a product that doesn't make you nervous selling it. So that is the extreme case. I doubt y'all are out there working for companies that don't have good products. But if that's the case of your nervousness, you do need to kind of move on. And with that, let's wrap up and let's jump into the next one. Now, this next mindset can be the most infectious and at the same time be the most annoying mindset. Is a super, super high energy mindset. Now, it's always great to have a few people on your team or within your company that have that high energy mindset. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to know how to control it, especially when you're talking to your customers or when you're in front of them or you having business meetings, business lunchings, and everything else, because it could come across the wrong way. Even though you have good intentions, it could come across as being needy or being super aggressive. And of course, with your peers, it could rub them the wrong way. I don't know. I kind of always liked high energy people, especially when I play sports. So I kind of was cool with it when I kind of stepped into the workforce. Well, with that being said, maybe I wasn't. So when I was in college, I kind of got my first call center type job, and my mindset I went in there was the wrong one. It's like, look, this is just the ends. I just need to make some money. I'm in college, found me a nice little job, calling people, selling them internet and phone service. So I'm kind of dating myself here. You know, they got the unique select dials for different people within the house. They ring different ways. And I was looking around, some people were just super hyped every day. And I was like, why are they super hyped? We're sitting here calling people in rural area New York, trying to sell them phones, home systems, and internet, and they only have running water. What's so hyped to get about it? But once I kind of got to know them, we were in different places in life. This was country town, and this was a high paying job in that area. So every day they got up and they were thankful for it, and they had that energy to do it. And others that were in college, they understood how to get spiffs and extra bonuses. And once I learned about how to get that extra money, you can't believe I was jacked for every single phone call. Because every single phone call became, I wouldn't say a game, but more like a mission. Can I get them what they need and also hit these bonuses so everybody's happy? I'm happy, my paycheck happy. I'm not eating ramen noodles. So being high energy, you have to be able to read the room and also harness it for the right goals, for the goals of the company, the goals of the customer, and also your personal goals. So being high energy is a place that we all need to be able to tap into and kind of mix it with the other ones that we went over today. So I'm not going to keep you all on here much longer. I plan on this video being 5 minutes or so, but I did throw a couple stories in there. So let's kind of get to the end of this. All these mindsets are perfect. There's nothing wrong with being nervous, being high energy. There's nothing wrong with any of these mindsets. And you might have multiple mindsets. I only went over a few of them today. If you have some you want me to go over, like I said earlier, put them down in the chat. But you just really have to know how to harness these and really understand how to get the most out of them. And I would like to thank everybody that kind of lasted this long with me. I might have rambled a little bit with my stories, but feel free to put different topics, different things into the chat. I will read them, and I will think about making different series or different videos about those. So, like I said in my bio intro or the about me, I've done everything from selling cars, from selling toys, financial, tech, you name it. I probably had some realm into it. Kind of like my story, I was selling telecom at one time. So thank you for your time and thank you for watching. And like I always say, just follow me and give me suggestions and I'll pump out videos. And I do have network full of people with 20, 30 years experience like myself, all different industries. So I'm thinking about maybe having a live stream and bring these individuals on so you got some questions or you could kind of get a more intimate knowledge around sales, especially for beginning or even if you've been in the sales game a long time. It's always good to chop it up with other individuals from other industries or even from your own field and kind of see how they do things. Thank you for your time and have a good day.